Hello geometry students. Today's learning target is to find the lengths of the sides of a special 30, 60, 90 triangle when you are given the long leg. Before we do that, let's review a little bit. In a right triangle, the side across from the 90 is the hypotenuse. The side across from the 30-degree angle we called the short leg. And the side across from the 60 we called the long leg. And in class we learned three relationships. The first one is that the short leg was equal to a half of the hypotenuse. Second one is 2 times the short leg was equal to the hypotenuse, which is just the reverse of number 1. The third thing we learned was that the long leg was equal to the short leg times the square root of 3. So if we do a quick example here, if the hypotenuse is 20, then the short leg, which is across from the 30, is half of 20, or 10. And then the long leg will be 10 square root of 3. So let's take a look at example number 1. In example number 1, we have the side across from the 60, which is the long leg. So the 21 is equal to the long leg. So we know that the long leg, and I'm going to highlight this in pink, is equal to the short leg times root 3. So I'm going to write that down. Long leg is equal to the short leg times the square root of 3. And we know that the long leg is 21. So 21 is equal to the short leg times the square root of 3. So in order to solve for the short leg, we're going to divide both sides by square root of 3. And when you do that, the square root of 3's on the right-hand side will reduce. And we get the short leg is equal to 21 over the square root of 3. And last week, we talked about rationalizing. What I mean by that is you multiply by the square root of 3 over the square root of 3. Doing the math and multiplying across, we get 21 square root of 3 over the square root of 9. That is equal to 21 square root of 3 over 3. And then 3 goes into 21 7 times. So when you simplify this, you get 7 square root of 3. So that tells me the short leg is 7 square root of 3. And remember, the short leg is across from the 30. So n is 7 square root of 3. And knowing that we double the short leg to get the hypotenuse, I'm going to highlight this in yellow. If you double 7 square root of 3, you get 14 square root of 3 for the hypotenuse. So this is the process in order to find the short leg and the hypotenuse when you are given a long leg. Let's look at example number 2. In example number 2, again, we are given the long leg is 48. So I'm going to write long leg is equal to the short leg times the square root of 3. 48 is the long leg, so that's equal to the short leg. I'll just abbreviate short times square root of 3. I'm going to divide by the square root of 3. So that tells me that the short leg is equal to 48 over the square root of 3. Again, I'm going to rationalize by multiplying by square root of 3 over square root of 3. When I multiply across, I get 48 square root of 3 over square root of 9. That's equal to 48 square root of 3 over 3. And when you simplify this, you get 16 square root of 3. So the short leg is 16 square root of 3. And if you double the short leg, meaning you double 16, you will get the hypotenuse to be 32 square root of 3. Let's take a look at example number 4. So again, across from the 60 is the long leg. So we know the long leg is equal to the short leg, root 3. We know the long leg is 20. Again, we'll divide both sides by the square root of 3. So the short leg is equal to 20 over the square root of 3. Again, I'm going to multiply by square root of 3 over square root of 3. So you get 20 square root of 3 over the square root of 9. And when you simplify this, you get 20 square root of 3 over 3. And it's okay to leave your answer like that as a fraction. So the short leg is 20 square root of 3 over 3. In order to get the hypotenuse, we're going to double 20 square root of 3 over 3. When you double 20, you get 40. So the hypotenuse is 40 square root of 3 over 3. So let's do one more example. In number 4, we have 60 degrees. So the 10 is the long leg. So 10 is equal to the short leg times the square root of 3. Divide by square root of 3. So the short leg is equal to 10 over the square root of 3. We're again going to rationalize by multiplying by root 3 over root 3. You'll get 10 root 3 over the square root of 9, which is 10 square root of 3 over 3. And you may leave your answer like that. So for number 4, the short leg is 10 root 3 over 3. And if you double the short leg, you get the hypotenuse. So doubling 10 gives you 20. So the hypotenuse is 20 square root of 3 over 3.